Aethel hit the door with gun twice. "Open in the name of the discipline!" The door was jerked open, and Aethel found himself staring down the barrels of 3 rifles, and beyond them the ice-cold gazes of Sergeant Falk and 2 of his men. They locked eyes with him, and Aethel knew, without question, that they would shoot him where he stood. They too had earplugs shoved up their noses. Slowly they stood aside, clutching their rifles like drowning men clutching branches. On the large double bed lay the body of a girl, a young girl with red hair. She had been quite beautiful before someone had slit her throat. Behind the bed, looking out the window, was Lieutenant Godwin. "Harry," Ethel husked, "we've come." "I know, sir, this is all that's left." "Of my men," Harry answered, voice hoarse. "I know, Harry," said Ethel, keeping his voice level. "I sent them to the cellar to find bodies. We we came up here. I heard her. The only sound. Crying, I thought. I thought we had found someone who could tell us everything. I went to her." Ethel looked at the girl, her throat ripped open, an icy sensation spread through his veins. "Harry," he whispered. The lieutenant turned. "She kissed me, Ethel," he said softly, tears streaming from his bright green eyes. The eyes that had been blue-gray this morning. Behind him, Ethel felt Sergeant Falk step forward. "The lieutenant brought us through, sir," he said. "He knew the discipline, even after he was farmed." "Don't you believe it, Ethel," said Godwin. "They had to pull me off of her. She had a leaf in her hand, and I ate it without even knowing it. She laughed. She laughed as she fed me my own death. Wish me dead, it's so strong. I went I went a bit mad then. I picked up Dragon and—" He gestured at the greater rifle leaning against the windowsill. Its bayonet was black with blood. "He won't talk to me anymore, Ethel. The Lotus did something to me already. It's a hell of a thing when a man's weapon won't speak to him." "Harry, tell me how you found out," Godwin said. Ethel told him of the letter and of finding the boy. "We were very fortunate," he finished. "And I wasn't." Godwin's lip trembled. Feet thudded down the corridor, one of Aethel's men pelting over the grisly carpet of bodies. "Sir, we have to go! They keep coming!" Aethel saw the panic in the man's eyes. "All right, let's move," said Aethel. He looked at Godwin, who froze. Then he picked up Dragon. Aethel saw him wince at the touch of the silent greater rifle. He looked up with a fierceness in his green eyes that Aethel had never seen before. He looked Sergeant Falk in the eyes. "You heard the captain, Sergeant. Let's carve a path. For the kingdom!" And he was gone, screaming down the hallway. Without hesitation, Falk was on his heels, and Aethel had to run to keep up. Lieutenant Godwin burst into the sitting room where Aethel's men were falling back toward the stairs. He charged a man wielding a fire axe and thrust his bayonet and half-dragon's barrel through the man's chest. He fought carelessly, not even trying to block blows aimed at him. None ever came close. Sergeant Falk smashed the skull of the man next to him with his rifle butt, then whipped his bayonet around to open the throat of the third, and a fourth. Then all of Aethel's men were rallying, driving the farmed Everviewers back down the cross passage. Aethel stabbed at a cowering woman and then came to himself. "Back! Fall back and get out!" Then they were down the stairs and past Aethel's pickets, who were firing steadily down the ground floor halls, then out in the night air, breathing deeply of the cool breeze. Aethel counted his men. Of the 30 he had let in, 15 were left, including Sergeant Falk and one of his men, and Lieutenant Godwin. The rest of his men fanned out in a crescent, still holding to the discipline. But no horde of Lotus Eaters poured from the doors of the inn. Having chased off the intruders, they had returned, it seemed, to the overwhelming passion of the Lotus. Aethel looked at Godwin and saw raw longing in his eyes. "I tried," he began, and then said, "I wanted to tell you not to come for us. But it wasn't their fault. My men." "You did well, Harry," Aethel said. "We don't leave our own behind." "Sir," said Falk suddenly beside him, "Lieutenant was the one who figured out the nose plugs. He saved us." "I thought," said Godwin, that I might win myself a hero's death in that last charge at least. Put it out of your hands. My hands. Ethel's brain caught up with the words like a spike of dull pain. Godwin was looking him in the face. Ethel, I'm hungry. No idea how hungry I am. Please, end it. Ethel's mouth froze on the words. I can't. He had to. It was the discipline. Ethel closed his eyes. He felt Sergeant Falk start to speak and raised his hand. Sergeant, set torches and prepare to fire the building. Yes, sir. Falk nodded. Sergeant, Ethel and Falk looked back. Godwin was holding out, dragging his greater rifle to the big man. I won't be needing him anymore. You're the man who held them together up there. He jerked his chin toward the inn. I'd like you to have him. Slowly, the sergeant nodded. He took the greater rifle and sucked in a sharp breath as the mind forged into the weapon touched him for the first time. I'll tell my parents, said Godwin. I swear it by my gun and name. It's not your fault, sir, Godwin said. No one's really. Goodbye, Ethel. I wish you nothing. I wish you nothing. Ethel echoed the ancient blessing. Godwin closed his eyes. Saliva leaked from his mouth. Please, Ethel, he choked. Well, it's still a good death. Ethel leveled a gun at Harry's forehead. Was grateful he could trust it to aim true. He closed his eyes and stroked the trigger. He turned, unable to watch the body of his friend, and faced his men. The discipline, he husked. The discipline! The response was ragged and fragile as the world.